I told you not to worry, but maybe that's a lie. Honey, what's your hurry? Won't you stay inside? Remember not to get too close to stars. They're never gonna give you love like ours. Where did you go? I should know, but it's cold and I don't wanna be lonely. So show me the way home. I can't lose another life. Hurry, I'm worried. The world's a little blurry. Maybe it's my eyes, the friends I've had to bury. They keep me up at night, 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 night. I said I couldn't love someone, 'cause I might break. If you're gonna die, not by mistake. So where did you go? I should know, but it's cold and I don't wanna be lonely. So tell me you'll come home, even if it's just a lie. I tried not to upset you, let you rescue me the day I met you. I just wanted to protect you, but now I'll never get to. Where did you go? I should know, but it's cold and I don't wanna be lonely. Was hoping you'd come home. I don't care if it's a lie.
Wow. Wow. Man, I missed hearing that so much. That was so great.
Thanks, Zane. How are you?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Must have been nice just to be in that space again and to be able to perform. I mean, I know there's no one around apart from crew and we're all here and we're all happy to be here, but just to be able to perform and just get a sense of it again.
Dude.
Yeah.
What is life, man? I miss it so much. I can't tell you. I'm so thrilled. I don't know. I'm so excited. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too. Everyone's watching. Everyone is watching right now, live on Apple TV Plus for good reason. We're all here to celebrate this film. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The world's a little blurry. Directed by the brilliant R.J. Cutler. It's a great, great film, and everyone's going to love it. You know, it was great hearing you sing the title, and we all know the words. But to put it in the context of your story up to this point, when did you realize that was the title of the film and not just a lyric, you know?
I don't know. It just made sense. It started out with a few different titles, and then we kind of thought about it, and we were like, what else could it be? And I think what we did was we just went through all of my songs and just looked through and saw if there was anything or if it sparked an idea. And The World's a Little Blurry, just, it kind of felt like it encapsulated the film in a way, and the time of my life that the film was, took place, of just, crazy things happening while I was also going through puberty and learning about being a teenager and also fame and also, insane pressure, but
where is the clarity in that equation? I mean, there is none. And yet there's so much tonight. We've been spoilt by an incredibly clear night here in LA. I mean, look at this place.
I know. What is this?
LA is so unique, because it has these kind of scenic lookouts that you can access that I think a lot of people go to for various reasons, but hopefully a lot of people go to them to get clarity, to try and have a moment. And you were born and raised in this town. This is your town. This is your city. What was it when you were growing up, even before we'd heard your music? What was it to grow up in it, and what does it represent to you, being an LA kid?
I grew up thinking, anytime I heard anything like that, like, do you think LA changed the way that you are and made you who you are? And I used to be like, no, of course not. But it absolutely did. I mean, I think that also I was really lucky to grow up here and have the opportunity that I had and the surroundings that I had and the, ways of, I don't know. I think that LA really, really just formed who I was, and having everything kind of right at my hands. I mean, it still took work and stuff, but I think it helped a lot. And LA is just beautiful and home to me. I've never lived anywhere else. And
it is beautiful. It has this kind of, I think when you're growing up and you look to LA, there's so many different phases of it, and often it can present this kind of grittiness to it, but it is beautiful. I mean, it is a beautiful city.
Beautiful.
Really spoiled. This film, wow. Why did you decide to do it? I mean, why did you do it?
No, I kind of didn't want to do it, but I did. What I did, though. Oh.
No, it's both. It has to be both.
It's both.
You can't be sane if it's I really want to do it.
I know.
It's got to be both.
I really don't know how it came up in discussion. All I remember is just like it being talked about, and I remember thinking like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? Why? Like, because I grew up watching documentaries, and why would anybody want to make one of me? Like, why would it matter? And the craziest thing was that when these conversations were being started, I was like newly 16, if not, just not 14.
That's a really important distinction for people who are about to watch this film who think that this was decided after everything happened.
Yeah.
It was not.
It was not. I can't even wrap my head around that. Yeah. I mean, the fact that anybody could have thought that I was going to go anywhere is insane to me. I thought, oh, okay, we're making a little movie, and it's like, about a little small artist and what it's like to like make music, and somehow it just became this huge, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I always wonder whether or not things like that, once you actually make a decision to do that, even though you haven't even really realized every step you need to in order to justify the documentary after the fact, that somehow it adds to manifest the purpose. Does that make sense?
Yes, I know.
That it's kind of, it has to happen, because otherwise why are we doing this?
Right. Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Right? It's a hell of a Christmas movie at the end of the year. You sit around with your friends and watch some reels.
Yeah.
Directed by RJ Cutler.
Directed by RJ Cutler. Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, I can't believe it was made. I remember, they were filming forever, and I got so used to it, and I mean, me and the whole family and everybody that knew it was going on, it was not a realistic idea. It was like not we're filming a documentary that's going to be made and then put out in 2021.
That's the weirdest thing when you realize it's got to come out. It's one thing to film everything, and then it's just
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, so we finished the film, and it's like, we have.
Literally. Oh my God.
Did you
Very
forget?
Scary.
Did you forget?
I absolutely forgot. But also it's because, and I think that this is probably a good thing, even though at the time I was like, ugh, was that, RJ, I kept being like, can I see? Can I like, give me a little something?
It'd been crazy to show you.
And he was
Any
like,
artist.
no, I'm not going to show you. What are you talking about? I'm going to show you. Also because
that comes out.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, also because I mean, this is just a thing about me. I don't know why, but since I was little, I watch every single video of me that exists. Like, every time I'm anywhere and my mom was filming, my friends are filming, I always am like, let me see. And I have to see it. I don't know, it's a thing about me. And so every video, every picture that's taken of me, I want to see it.
Wow, you had to let go.
I had to put myself in a drawer.
That's intense.
And shut up,
That's
for real.
Intense. Most people make these films 20, 30, 40 years later.
I know.
And then they watch them and they get to say, and this is the great get out clause, right? They get to say, that was 40 years ago. I've changed so much. You're watching yourself like what, a year, 2 years after the fact?
Yeah.
That's intense for anybody.
It's intense, and it's also like, usually these aren't made when you're right in your annoying phase. Like, that's how I think of it. Because it's like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. It's not fair.
It's not fair. And also, it's like the difference between a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old. Obviously, 19 is still super young, but 16 and 19, that's a whole different person. That's a complete different mindset on
This
the
is
world.
part of your, this is why it matters. Because you've always been, whoa, that was heavy.
I know, it was real. That was a real one.
That was a real, you've always been this authentic human being to people your own age. You've never pretended to be older or younger or anything that you are. You just are, right? So everyone who's going to watch it, and the fact that your music has traveled so far and reaches so many different generations now, people of all ages love it.
I know.
But your fans that are your age are going to watch this and they're going to feel the same way. They're going to laugh because there'll be fans who see themselves in the front row at your concerts and go, I've changed so much.
I know. I think about that daily because that's one of the things that I've held so dearly to me. Is that a word? Is that a word I can use there?
Yeah.
Which is that something I've loved so much in this whole process since, you know, not including the doc, but also because of the doc has it in it, is the fact that I've literally grown up with my fans.
Yeah.
Like, we've grown up together. When I was doing shows at 14, they were 14, a lot of them. And then I was 15 and they were 15. And it's like, especially when I would do shows in the same place like a year later and I'd see the same kids and they'd be so different and we'd be so different, but we'd be still in sync. And it's so crazy because there's just not any of that. I don't know. I mean, I never had that when I was a younger
No,
girl.
you're the people you aspire to meet or be or want to get close to.
Always so different.
Way far away.
Yep.
They're really far away.
So far away.
You know, and you have to aspire to that. You've brought the aspiration close, no question about it. And it makes sense because the whole experience for you has been close.
Yep.
You know, you and Phineas, you and your family, the way that the record, everything was recorded, so unique. We get to see a real insight into the process.
Yeah.
Which is super cool, actually. We've heard about the bedroom, but what you guys actually work in there is a whole other thing. You know, and it must have been crazy when you watch the film back and you're transported back to that moment, that much younger, trying to figure it out.
It's nuts. It's really weird to watch now because I remember, especially at the time, thinking I was so old and mature and knew exactly what I was doing, and I just wasn't at all. And I still did it. And I think that it's important for people to know that, like, you really don't know. You don't need to know what you're doing to do stuff in certain things. In certain things you do.
Yep.
But do you know what I mean? Is
Absolutely.
like you don't have to have everything perfectly. You don't have to be a genius to make music.
No.
You know what I mean?
But you stumbled into something that was this relationship that you and, you know, Phineas have as brother and sister, manifesting itself into music that is so weird. Brilliantly weird. I mean, Bury a Friend, brilliantly weird.
So
I think we
weird.
actually have a clip, which we're going to play now from the film of you sort of recording Bury a Friend, and the journal makes an important appearance too, which I want to talk about. Let's play it.
Said out loud.
Nice.
Said out loud.
That sounds good.
Go.
Come here.
Probably something that shouldn't be said out loud. Honestly, I thought that I would be dead by now. Probably something that shouldn't be. I wanna end me.
Woo! That's dope.
What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me? What are you wondering? What do you know? Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me? When we all fall asleep, where do we go?
That's cool, right?
Genius. This is what I want the album to be called. When we all fall asleep, where do we go? And then I actually drew this song. This is the drawing of this song, because the whole song is about, like, monsters under your bed. In the future, I'm gonna do stuff with wings, and I also want to do something where I drink black liquid and then my eyes turn black and then I start bleeding black out of my eyes.
The eyes, though. That's what gets me every time. We're going to talk about the journal and talk about the fact that you manifested artistic greatness through the journal, which is an important tool. But the eyes, Phineas's eyes, though.
Dude, well, because, oh my God. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
What is he saying with his eyes there?
I mean, I can't speak for him, but I think that he was saying she's going to do that.
She's going to do
Like,
that.
she's not joking.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of the time, when you have ideas like that,
Yeah.
you know, it's like not a serious idea. You know, you say it to somebody and they're like, cool. But I did it. I literally did it. I put some tubes in my eyes and filled them with black liquid, and black came out of my eyes. Like, what? Yeah.
You did it. And, you know, I want to talk about the journal for a second because it's actually an often undervalued tool for the creative exercise.
Absolutely.
Not enough people realize that these aren't just things that get conjured up in a quote-unquote session, that you have to continue to collect your thoughts. Even if you don't do anything creative with them, what you do is you take the power away and you make them real so you can stare at them and identify what they are, right?
Yep. Yep. It was a huge, I mean, it was the way that I worked. The album wouldn't be called that if it weren't for my journal. The artwork wouldn't be that way. I mean,
yeah.
Everything would have been different. And it's weird to think about that now because I didn't think about it then. I was just drawing and I was like...
Yeah, you're expressing yourself.
Exactly, being inspired, and, you know, it just worked. And I think, you know, there's no specific way you have to work, and everybody has to do this and this and this. Yeah. Everybody works differently, and whatever works for you works for you. But I think that there are a lot of ways that people forget that are really crucial, that can be really crucial, that can help you a lot without you realizing. And that journal was, you know, I mean, I keep it, I should keep it in a safe because it has...
I was going to ask you, like,
all the lyrics,
don't say where it is.
I'm not going to.
But I'm assuming you have it tucked away safe.
It's got it all. I left it one time in a hotel. I did.
What?
I left it in a hotel in Berlin. And I was a 3-hour drive away from Berlin.
Oh, you must be beside
and
yourself.
I opened my bag up to draw. This was while we were making... I think we were making the album. Like,
so you
we
were doing a tour
started.
In between, kind of like, yeah, you were going out there, meeting the fans,
it was
doing
a while,
some
it
shows.
was a minute ago. But we were driving somewhere, and it was like a 3-hour drive, and I tried to get my notebook out because I was going to draw, because that's what I did. And I was like, oh, I left it in the hotel. I had somebody drive to the hotel.
Of course.
Get it. They mailed it back. Oh my God, crazy. So
there are great stories
sacred.
About that. I mean, you know, I can't remember who it was, and I'm sure I'll get it wrong. So apologies if anyone wants to fact check me right now. But I'm pretty sure Eminem lost a rhyme book somewhere. Dude. That's like.
That's
imagine
brutal.
finding that.
Brutal.
And it's funny because, you know, the way that he composes his words as well is, you know, it's very artistic too, and he puts everything on the page and hands it all in. And so it's not just like writing line to line to line. Every page in a way is a piece of art.
Absolutely.
You know, you saw these images and these ideas, and in many respects, these anxieties on paper, right? They manifested themselves into something that spoke to your fans, and it must have been really crazy seeing these images actually become real in merch form, in videos, like.
It's weird to this day to see, you know, just some little doodle in a little notebook that I've had since I was like 8, literally since I was like 8. Unbelievable, you know, coming onto merch, being on billboards, literally on billboards.
Yeah, you must have moments. Can you remember one specific moment when you were driving down a main street and you saw the thing that was on page 17 in your journal?
Oh my God, I mean, like yesterday. Like, I'm telling you, it's weird. It's very weird, surreal. Cool. It's amazing. I mean, anything's possible.
You have very expressive parents, you know, they're really artistically driven, and they obviously enabled and enhanced your ability with you and Phineas to express yourselves. And yet, inside this journal, you know, you're writing your innermost thoughts, the things that scare you, you're manifesting ideas. How open could you be with them when you were growing up and you were trying to figure it out for yourselves? Is it an open family?
We are so open. We're so open, always have been. I've been so lucky to have parents that were supportive of me as a person and what I wanted to do and create and just be. Like, they were, and it was so easy to talk to them. You know, I never felt like I had to lie to my parents, which is so rare.
Very special.
I mean, there's a few years when, you know, you go through a little patch of being a rebel. And
you have to learn how to do it.
You have to learn how to lie.
You have to learn how to do it, then you have to decide not to do it.
Yes, exactly, exactly, Zane. Exactly. Yeah, but no, my parents and my family were all so close, and I feel like I would have lost it without them. I really do. I don't think I would have, you know, my parents have come on every single tour with me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
that's, you know, I
And most
just,
kids your age are dying to get away.
yeah.
They're searching for reasons to create an independent life, and that's part of the natural evolution of the family environment. You know,
Yeah.
if you're lucky enough to grow up in a great family environment, you will search for independence at some point. You're doing that in a way that is so unique.
Yeah.
Like, you're on the road, surrounded by people, surrounded by your family at all times. And so it must have been crazy when you came home and realized that you can't skip that step. You still need to become an independent human.
Yeah, it is funny. I know it's weird. Like I love my family and I love being with them. And there are, you know, lots of times when I would like to be alone, be away from them.
Sure.
But they're not forceful. They're okay, great. You can have your, you know, space and your time. And they've always been really good with that. I mean, they're amazing parents. I wish that I could parent like them. I hope that I can parent like them. But honestly, like, I've always wanted to have kids, love kids. Me is the only reason I don't want to have kids, because I don't want to have a kid like me. Hoo. Pain.
Your parents would disagree with you, I'm sure. Come on. Listen, there's an important moment in every kid's life when that independence really surfaces, and that is sitting behind you. Hell of an entrance today, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Is that the dragon?
That's a dragon.
It's the dragon.
Dragon.
You had the dragon. You needed to come back and learn how to drive the dragon.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, is that, oh my God, all of these insane things were happening in my life that are, you know, monumental moments in anybody's career, right? That people wait their whole lives for, that people sometimes don't ever get. And there they were, and I was experiencing them. But at the same time, I was like, I want to get my license.
Want to get your license.
I want to do things because I was growing up and I wanted to, it's just weird that I was having these like, these first few moments of independence while I was also having these enormous moments in my job.
Exactly.
And it's funny, like, because of the way my life is, and I'm fine with it because it is what it is, and I'm really happy with my life. It's true that I am, you know, kind of years and years behind on becoming an adult. You know, I've only gotten gas by myself twice. Because I look at my life.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
there's
mean?
great mileage in the dragon. It takes a long time to get rid of that gas.
It's true. Not with the way I be driving.
Well, you started slowly and methodically, thanks to Dad. We're going to play this piece, which is actually a really moving piece, I think, for any parent. I can't promise I'm not going to get a bit teary-eyed watching this. Run this. This is great.
So you know that when you're alone in the car and nobody's there to say anything to you, the rules of law still apply. It's not now you get to speed and do all kind of stupid. So you've been, you know, you've learned to drive and you've been coached and helped and tested in order to be sure that you're going to be a sober, sensible driver. So always just err on the side of being safe. Whoops. I went down the wrong entrance ramp, so I gotta go down another mile and turn around.
Okay. I love you.
Love you.
I go. So long.
Crazy.
I mean, look, it's the moment that you look forward to as a parent because you know you did a good job. It's also the moment that
You dread.
You dread it.
You dread it.
Because it's like that era is naturally coming to an end, and that moment, not to get too granular, but that moment when he sort of looks at his hands, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
You know, my wife and I, we have a 14 going on 15-year-old. It's not far away.
Oh my God, that's real close.
It's real close.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal. It's the letting go of, you know, you being the one that kind of controls their life. They're in control.
You were pretty comfortable letting go there, though. You were like, see ya.
Yes, I was.
What was going through your mind at that moment? Because it's like you finally get to drive the dragon.
Oh
and
my
it's
God.
yours.
I mean, I've wanted to drive my whole life. I love driving. I've, you know, counted down the days till I could drive. And then even when it came, I was like busy with this crazy life that I had that it took me a second because I had to put aside doing shows and stuff to do driver's ed and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was ready to go. I was so ready
ready to go. Yeah, I just felt bad for your mum though because she wasn't around to see it.
I know.
You'll see it. It's another great moment.
But the speech, when you watch the scene for real in the movie, the speech my dad gives after is like makes me cry every time. It's I love my dad.
One of the things, apart from the importance of family, that rolls through this movie is, you know, trying to be successful and do what you love to do and follow your dreams, but also trying to figure out where you fit into the other important circle of security at that point in your life. Family does one thing and your social circle does the other.
Oh my God.
And that was really interesting because the whole world is screaming and buying tickets and wants to see you perform, and you can't get your friends on the phone.
Yep.
It's tough, right? When you're trying to work out, like, what's going on back home with my buddies. Because I guess my point is that it can be lonely, right? Doing that.
Super lonely. I mean, you know, I think some of the most lonely moments in my life have been when I came off stage from having just done a show for 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Come into the green room. And because, you know, my whole team and everybody that is with me usually is out in the crowd watching.
Yeah.
And I come into my green room and I sit alone in my green room.
Yeah.
I just sit alone. And of course, there's no windows and there's nobody congratulating you, of course. And everybody likes to be congratulated. Everybody likes to be complimented. And I go in my room and I sit there in silence, alone. And you know, you have to be in a certain mindset to be okay with that. But you know, for a period of time, it was really hard for me. I had to kind of, you know,
master it in a way, try to figure it out.
Figure out how I could not be depressed, you know, and just be like, oh my God, I just did this beautiful show, an amazing show, and I'm, you know, going into my green room and sitting alone and like waiting for a reply from, you know, whoever I was cared more about than my show. It's ridiculous. It's just, you just take things for granted, and like, now, oh my God, it makes me want to scream because I can't even do shows. So thinking about the idea of the fact that I used to do shows and then run off stage and like look at my phone and see if I got a text from like a friend or you know, just...
Well, you want to share it though.
You want to share it.
You want to share it.
You want people to be excited and you want to share it, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
RJ was always there though. Camera was always
there, that's for sure.
Camera was always there.
Camera was always there.
You know, in order to create a film that's this impactful and this revealing and this great, you need to have real trust with your director. You need to really trust the vision. And you need to trust that they know how to be there and not be invisible, but equally not be intrusive. And that is really challenging.
Really challenging. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. I mean, it's a lot to have a camera on you constantly.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was the camera crew or like my mom filming me, because my mom put in work filming with her phone, as she does. She has so much footage of my life on that phone, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And you know, it's great because it's capturing your life, and especially with this doc, it's like amazing, and you know, we all feel irrelevant, and it's cool to be kind of validated that your life matters and means something, but it's incredibly intrusive and disturbing.
Yeah, I asked RJ how it was to start the film and what he was hoping to achieve with it, and why he chose to make it in the first place. And we're going to look at that now. Let's see what he had to say.
Well, let's do it. RJ.
This film was fantastic. You captured it. You know, it was a very intense period of time to witness and to be a fan of the artist going through it. And I had no idea that you were right there the whole time, getting the whole thing. So congratulations on doing that right.
Thank you.
The first question, I suppose, RJ, is why did you choose to make this film? Why did you want to be involved?
Well, I met Billie. You know, I was invited to meet with her at her home, and I came in and sat with them and just started talking about what we might do together. And it became very clear to me almost immediately that here was an opportunity to make a film about an artist coming of age and a young woman coming of age. And I was very intrigued by that.
What we see in this film is a very different side of Billie that hasn't really been put on display to this degree. The vulnerabilities, the real challenges. Did you see the potential from that early on?
I'm driven by curiosity.
Yeah.
And my curiosity was sparked. I felt strongly that whoever she was we could capture.
Yeah.
And the process we could capture. And of course I was so intrigued and excited about the relationship with Phineas and how these two siblings work together and create together and what that even is, you know. I was confident that this was a film.
Yeah.
And you don't always feel that way. In fact, you rarely feel that way. And then when you do feel that way, it's very exciting.
This is a story about family. This is a story about the importance of family at a time when the world is in front of you in all angles, at all sides.
Yeah.
What did you learn about that dynamic and how it plays into Billie's stability as a human?
Well, it's quite a remarkable family story because it's simple and it's clear, and yet it seems almost miraculous. How is it possible that Billie and Phineas do this work together?
Yeah.
How is it possible that they're two prodigies that come from the same parents? There's so many aspects to it, but most of all, they're folks who are unconditionally committed to supporting their kids being truly who they are. And truth is a fundamental theme. Truth and empathy are the fundamental themes, I think, of this film. I think of Billie's work. I think of this moment. I think it's probably why it's her moment, because we yearn for truth and empathy so much for so many reasons, right?
And that authenticity stretched all the way through to the edit the entire time. Even though it's going to be difficult for her to some degree, knowing the world's going to see elements of her life she so painstakingly kept to herself, she remained truthful to the process the entire time and allowed you the complete freedom to present and edit in your own way.
This is my complete experience. And it doesn't mean she didn't have response to the film, but her response to the film was very gratifying for a filmmaker. It was, she said she felt seen. She felt known, she felt understood in a way that she didn't think that she could have. That means the process worked.
Oh my God.
You felt seen. That is a powerful observation.
That's so sweet of him. He's so sweet. What's interesting about one thing he said was, kind of putting, and you said of me kind of having these things that I was never planning on talking about, sharing, anybody seeing, and like kind of having to just put them away. And the thing was that I really had to just look at it from third person. I had to, and it was me probably being the most selfless I've ever been, I want to say, and that, I don't know how that sounds, but that's how I feel, because when I saw the first cut, I was so excited and I felt seen, but I was also mortified and like terrified and nervous, and my instinct was to say like, oh my God, I need this out, like
Yeah.
this,
I
I need to protect myself. I don't want anyone to know this. I don't want anyone to know this. I need to do this and this and this. And I really had to kind of tell myself like, don't be selfish. Let this movie be the movie that it is, and don't, lie about what your life was, because this was your life. And again, there's a ton that was going on at the time that isn't in the film. Tons. But also, you don't want to have a false narrative, This was my life. Like, none of it is a lie. Like,
Well, it would have been a waste of an opportunity. What's the point in having
exactly
a
what I'm
director
saying.
covering your
Exactly.
life and then even subconsciously try to direct it in real time to protect the narrative and create something that
Yeah.
not real?
Exactly.
We hear it in your music, we see it in your videos, we see it in your performances. The only thing that we hadn't seen was it in real life.
Yeah.
And so it's the final piece of the puzzle to help others understand that you are real and you're like everyone. We're all suffering from things
Yeah, we all are.
in some capacity.
All times. Yeah.
Right? We're all wired different. We all go through things different. Were there times when you were having a hard time dealing with the moment and you were physically reacting to what was happening emotionally and mentally, and that will become evident in the film as well, where you get really scared. You get scared because you're not sure how you can find a balance of being everything that you want to be for people, but not knowing how to be there for yourself.
Beautifully put, Zane. Yes. Yes is the answer. I think there's a lot of moments. I think that there's a specific moment in this film of just, just kind of seeing this kind of more in-depth look of what was going on with me and how I was doing, and then, you know, I was kind of shoved into this situation of vulnerability that I wasn't ready for. And, you know, there's only a sliver of it in the movie, and in my real life, it's, you know, all the time. And back then it was every second. And it was some of the worst moments of my life, to be honest. Certain times when I was trying so hard to deal with what I was going through and like heal from it, and suddenly there was this whole new thing plopped on the top of me, and suddenly I was, you know, right there for everybody to see.
And ill-prepared.
And ill-prepared and just not in the right mindset. It's really about mindset and like being aware, and when something is sprung on you like that, it just can't end well. And it's crazy because it's like, I've said this before, you know, us as people in the public eye, you can't have a bad moment. You can't be in a bad mood and somebody says, hey, can you take a video for 8 of my friends? This is this person's name and this, blah, 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 blah. Also, can you pose like this? Also, can you come with me and take a picture? And also, can you... It's like, I understand it always comes from a place of love, most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't, but it mostly comes from an affectionate place. And you just can't have a moment of, you know what? No, I really don't want to do that. I'm really miserable right now and have other things going on. And the thing is that you just have to be bigger than that and be like, you know what? They don't know that.
You do, but there's also something, I think, that comes with the trade of being an artist and a fan, the relationship that we build as fans of our favorite musicians or artists or anyone who adds value to our lives. We have to accept that at some point we enter into an era of maybe and an era of no.
True.
It's about allowing you the space to build a narrative where your life is your life. And we have to take responsibility for that as fans too. It's part of the growth. I mean, I've seen artists do it over and over again, and real fans stick it out because we respect it, right? We respect it.
It's just so important to have respect for people. And I think that the problem is, we all do this, when you feel very strongly, whether it's good or bad, you just act out. It's just how you naturally, if you're super excited about something, you're gonna be different than you are when you're not super excited about something. And we kind of go crazy, you know, especially when it's something that we feel has changed us as a person, has made us who we are, has, you know, we dream about and we fantasize about, and then there it is in front of you, and you're gonna say something weird. You're gonna act weird, and you're gonna do something weird. And so that's why that's like the first thing I think whenever there's like a weird situation with somebody who maybe is a little inappropriate with something they say or do or whatever, because I try to be like, you know what, I've felt that intense feeling of want, you know, before, and it makes you do crazy stuff. It makes you do crazy stuff. So,
you know, it's
just a balance.
It's a balance, and you're going through it, and here's the thing, like, it was only a few years ago that it was so simple. None of this even had to be really considered because you were doing crazy stuff because you felt that energy. I mean, let's play the last clip from the film in this conversation, which I think really makes that point, that back then it was very simple and the connection was so there.
Right up close.
I look into the crowd and I see all these faces, so many different feelings and heartbreak, and every single person in there, you know, is going through something good or bad or horrible or amazing, you know? And the least I can do is make art that I make because I have the same problems. I don't think of them as fans, ever. They're not my fans, they're like part of me.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
That's never going to change. No matter where life takes all of you, everyone in that room and you, that's never going to change because, like you said, you feel the same way. Right? Like when I was growing up, it was so different. It was like you looked, like I said before, you looked at the people on your posters and you'd be like, they have it all figured out.
I know, and they're so far away. That's the thing. I've tried so hard, and again, it was so much easier then.
Yeah.
Of just all I wanted and all I want still is to be the kind of person that somebody can look up to, that I would have wanted to look up to when I was younger. That's reachable. I've always wanted to be reachable. The problem is that, you know, being reachable to the good ones also makes you reachable to the bad ones.
Yeah.
Which is tough. I mean, it's a real conflict, and it's something you got to work around. But I've tried so hard to like stay close to them, and the bigger it's gotten, the harder it's gotten. But I've really tried, and you know, I mean, some of the most you know, heart-wrenching times in my life have been moments with fans and things that they've said to me, and you know, sometimes like I feel like I have never even told this before, which is my favorite fan moment was ever, was I was in a store like over a year ago, and I was just with a couple of my friends, and there was like nobody in the store. I was just looking at clothes, whatever, and there was this girl across the room, and she walked in with somebody. I'm like gonna cry thinking about it, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I just smiled at her. And she ran to me, and she jumped in my arms, and she hugged me, and I held her, and she cried, and we didn't say a word. And I literally, I mean, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. Stupid.
Nope.
And I just like, there's nothing like that. And they do that for me, and if I can be, you know, like a little safety blanket for them, then I want to be that. And I just can't, you know, it's crazy that the most impactful moment for me was just silent. Like, she didn't say a thing, I didn't say anything. She ran into my arms.
Perfect. Too much noise sometimes. It's perfect. That's perfectly human.
God, I can't even explain it. It's crazy, 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 crazy.
Thanks for making this film. Thanks for laying it.
Nah,
you laid it all out there. You laid it all out there. And what you've achieved with RJ and your family and everybody who's helped you realize your vision from Phineas all the way through. There's a lot of people, you know, who will be very proud of this film because it's a brilliant success story. You have achieved incredible things. The metric of value, the construct of awards and arenas and all the things that people dream of. But here's the real success. You did it, and you came out the other side, and you're great. Like, you got your together. And it's amazing. It's rare. And, you know, props to your family and to everybody for doing that. And thank you so much for bringing the film to Apple TV Plus. And thank you for doing this and letting me play a part in it. I've loved being a part of this journey.
Thank you for doing it. You worked so hard. I'm very impressed with you, Zane. I'm always impressed with you. I am so nervous and excited and terrified for this to come out. I like want to barf, but I'm also excited.
Hey, by the way, it's too late. It's out.
But thank you, RJ, and thank you, Jenna, and thank you, my family, and everybody that participated.
Go home and watch it with your family and friends.
I'm going to.
Right, go and do it. It's been great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
we
Zane.
appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the film. You can watch the film now with your Apple TV Plus subscription on whatever device you stream on. Your Apple TV, MacBook, smart TVs, game consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, connected devices, Roku, or Amazon Fire. Just look for the Apple TV app, and if you don't have it, go to the App Store on your device and download it. And if you've bought an Apple device like an iPhone, iPad, or MacBook recently, then you have Apple TV Plus included already. Thanks again for watching this. We appreciate it. Enjoy the film. It's brilliant.
You guys, it's happening. I don't know what to say. I want to hold you and kiss you, squeeze you tight. This is insane. I can't tell you how much I want to give you. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't judge me. There's so many things in this movie that I'm terrified for to come out. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait till you're in my arms again. Enjoy the movie. Please take care. Be safe. I can't wait to see you soon. And I'm out.